Greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for listening live or tuning in the replay. This is intended to post most likely be a pop up episode, a short episode. Episode 116, Say My Name. Once again, thank you for listening live or tuning to replay. Know this is a just a up and going episode, and just really wanted to talk about something that is rather important. And so we're gonna get straight into it. Traditionally, our show, The Vault, comes on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On The Vault, so you all want to tune in on traditional episodes, feel free to tune in on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. This is a pop up episode, so just the episode for to be placed episode 116. This episode is focused on Say My Name, which is dealing with intellectual property, trademark law. We could even say copyrights. Uh, very, very exciting topic. Have a bunch of people always asking about trademarks, intellectual property. And so, this episode, we're going to do our best to go straight in about it. So, really wanted to do this episode because there's a common consensus of people think, well, I want to share my ideas. First of all, ideas are considered intellectual property, and for that reason, it's very important to always have parties sign non-disclosure agreements. We used to at the vault, provide sources where individuals could get, non-disclosure agreements. Those things are available in trustee training now, more focused on trustees, knowing that, hey, as a trustee, non-disclosure agreements happen all the time, with whoever the trust is contracting with, as well as you. If you're talking privacy, maintaining privacy is through non-disclosure, non-compete documents, things of that nature. So one of the examples that we really wanted to focus on immediately was because this is a cultural phenomenon right now, where you see individuals such as Beyonce, where she literally just launched her album, which is considered intellectual property. Her voice, the name, those things are considered intellectual property. Those names are possibly trademark. Her voice is possibly recorded and is copywritten. So if you hear that voice, that's why they enforce those laws over these channels such as YouTube and many other platforms, where they enforce the fact that you have someone's song playing, and they're enforcing the copyright because they want people to get paid. They want to enforce publishing. They want people to get paid. And so, as you can see, this individual in particular literally launched an album on a platform that they control, which is Tidal. Uh, Really interesting to see that it went directly from producer to consumer. And this is how all elite or the best of the best are moving. They are in complete control of intellectual property. They are in complete control of a copyright. They are, and do you hear what I'm saying? They are in complete control of patents. And so, as you all can see, what royalties is she missing? Who is she cutting a check with? She went directly from her voice, recording it in a studio she probably has some type of control over. I mean, she's a big shot. And you know, this is an example of success, ladies and gentlemen. So we're only talking case study of success. Case study of success is Beyonce launching her voice, which is going through publishing companies. Who's the publishing company? You all can do the research. When you go listen to the songs from that last album, you can see the publishing company. If she's in control of it. Why? Because it's important for you to know that we live in that age that she's setting the example, only doing what the internet provides. And then on the back of that, why are any other artists doing the opposite? She's the best. We have to give credit where credit is due. She's the best. And she's launching direct to consumer. Why do people need distribution deals in 2019? Why do people need advances? Why don't they just hustle through their social media? So we can see that she went directly to consumer. Even her children's pictures had to go through a pay someone had to pay to obtain those pictures, to publish those pictures. See, it's the image. That's copywritten. It's the image that's trademarked. When you all see Getty Images, it's always a good company to see. You always see Getty there. That's a publishing company of a photo. They're taking credit for a picture in time, an image in time that may never be duplicated ever again. And so, how apropos is it for Beyonce to say my name? She has rights to that song. Maybe not splitting deals. This is intelligent boss moves and business moves in an environment of where people say, "Oh, there's no privacy." Well, ladies and gentlemen, she's showing you you can go directly from the private to the public, and ladies and gentlemen, do quite well. Interesting. If you all have any questions, feel free to type into the chat. I'll look into the chat here in a second. But appreciate you, Marlene, and New Freeman, and Haruz, and Ernest. Appreciate everybody that types in live into the chat. Always appreciate everybody just showing their face and saying hello. Peace and blessings. Always appreciate you all. So let's get to the dirty one, where it says, if you have a job, you may have no legacy. They say it's about your last name. Say my name. The name is what's valuable. The name is what has equity. How many people have passed along their jobs to their children? We're talking equity. So then we get individuals that say, oh, we're going to hop into the real estate, pass along a real estate portfolio. How was it done? Was it done in your name? Was it done without a will? Say your name. Is it worthy even mentioning your last name? There's some environments that we frequent, and they address us by last name once again. Surname, we should say. And you all can get an idea of when you're in environments now where individuals do have control of their last name, they do have control of their time, they're in control of their time, they're in control of the income, they went direct from themselves to the consumer. They said, how valuable is my name? And now you all can see that the last name, or the name makes, is an asset. The last name is an asset. The surname is an asset. People say, how can I start a family trust? How can I start out entities without any assets? Sometimes they say it's as good as your name. And it's interesting to see that it says it's your name. Say my name. And focusing on your last name. There's a story in the Bible that I've read before, and just a good story because it talks about how there's these two brothers, and one of the brothers sold their birthright for a bowl of porridge, which is a bowl of oatmeal, and, in modern times, and to see that an individual would sell their last name for something so small, it's just interesting. Would you? Your last name is one of those things. Your surname is one of those things. They say that's the last thing you give up, and you see that across the board. You see a lot of well-known companies don't have the last name up on it. I mean, most big Fortune 500s don't have the names up on it. So when you talk about being a big shot and wanting to own everything, why is it that the major companies in the world aren't owned by the people that even founded them? They're just founded by them at this point in 2019. They're say they're founders. They're not even saying that they're legal owners. When you even look at Jeff Bezos for Amazon, he said claimed supposedly $81,000 on his taxes. You all can Google Jeff Bezos $81,000, and you all can see the, oh wow, okay, you know Bezos is moving in a certain fashion. The company's worth $1 billion. You all think about it logically. If the company that you were managing was worth $1 billion, would you only be pulling out 81,000? So when you all think about that, say my name. Jeff Bezos says, say my name as the founder, not as the owner. He'll tell you, oh, I just work for the company. You know, a lot of the great companies were always founded. They were always, a duplicated idea. We can go across the board, even with the Facebook story and how it started. And if you guys don't know the story, is you guys should watch the movie. but definitely to see that a lot of they say a lot of the great ideas are stolen. It's very important to then say, okay, what was stolen and what was protected. You all can see intellectual property was protected, patent was protected, copyright was protected. Even with what was that one company, Apple? The way that they have their script is interesting to see how they have many. Apple holds patents, ladies and gentlemen. Say my name, Apple. Apple holds patents. How is it that a company can hold patents? Because a company is a person and it can hold patents. This is something you all can just Google. So definitely want you to think about that and look into it. Okay, Google's holding patents, but Jeff's not. I mean, well, no, 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 no. Excuse me, Apple, but Steve's not. Steve had, you all can Google Steve Jobs with the trust that he has set up with Pixar when he passed, and how his Pixar estate was quote unquote settled with the children, how distributions were to be made. You all can Google that information uh, very easily. And so, just really wanted to focus on legacy. Your name is your legacy. What are you passing down? Was looking at I think it was a watch company the other day, and it was talking about. Oh, no, it was actually a like a minting family. They're ironsmith, and this family has been around for, I would say, almost the 1400s, and they've been minting uh, coins in Europe for since the 1400s, and it's really interesting to see it. It's literally the same family. Like that's all the way through. Every family, son or daughter, or whoever is doing the same exact thing. So why is it different for the Americans at this point? Is legacy not being perpetuated? Why is it so shunned upon almost to following your parents' legacy and your parents' footsteps? Is it worth following in your parents' footsteps? Do they have a legacy worth following? Ladies and gentlemen, we pose this question even at the vote. Are you even making more money than your parents? Because we live in a generation nowadays where people are making more money than their parents. So, let alone are they following down their parents' footsteps in America at this point in 2019? And so, say my name is, are you proud of your last name once again? Are you proud of your surname? Are you happy and politely excited to be addressed by your surname? And a lot of people come to the vault and they say, "Oh, the UCC and the birth certificate and I gotta claim the birth certificate." All right, claim means some. You know what claim is? Hit the Black's Law Dictionary since you're making legal references and you're looking to make some type of financial profit off of your last name and do some type of contract or something of that nature. Well, you would might want to have a legal dictionary and actually find out what claim means. So you're claiming, and here we go. We're gonna go through this. So they're claiming their birth certificate. They're claiming it, and so we see these stories of people claiming their birth certificate. You got to know what that term means first, and then once you know what that means, you move forward with, okay, do I own it or do I just control it? What capacity am I acting in? Am I acting as a fiduciary, as a trustee? Am I acting as someone that's competent, someone that period? Or and so we see a lot of individuals that they come and they say, "Oh, I got control of the birth certificate. What do I do now?" Should do an episode just called that. I have what they say. I have my birth certificate authenticated. We'll just say it that way. I have my birth certificate authenticated. What do I do now? You have it authenticated as if that authentication makes it something more real than what it was previous, and you still hold it, and it just shows to a degree a lack of contract knowledge. And a lot of individuals say, well, okay, I have my birth certificate and I have it inside of a trust, or I want to put my birth certificate inside of a trust. Why? See, these are things you hear, ladies and gentlemen. We're only repeating the questions that people type into the chat, people ask in the consultations. They say, what do they say once again? I have my birth certificate authenticated. What do I do now? I have it in a trust and this, that, and the third. And you just ask them, well, what are you doing that for? What did you do that for? Well, because I needed to get control of the birth certificate. As long as it's in your hands, what they say, possession is 9 tenths of the law. And then you get into other aspects deeper into it. But I don't think anyone. Here we go. Trademark IP. You guys can check with your IP trademark attorney, IP contract, copyright. You just ask them whoever has the contract first with the name, and they're doing business with it, they kind of serve priority. Then you all can look into finding out, okay, what's the benefit of copywriting something on the public side? Because it's beneficial on the public side because that's what they honor on the public side first. They don't. It's just one of those unwritten and reported things that they don't honor. Like you guys can Google common law copyright. Senior mentors and a lot of the information that's on the internet says a lot of the public authorities don't honor common law copyrights before trademark and copyright and patent. And we always encourage you to talk to a trademark attorney, specifically even for your state, because sometimes it might be a little bit more lenient in your state. But we always encourage you all to look around and say, hey, what is the process of having control of a name? What is the 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 benefit of having a copyright in public? These are things that you just look into. But specifically on the public side, you see what Beyonce was able to do. She's able to control her voice, the studio hours. Everything is in her control, ladies and gentlemen. You understand how powerful that is? And then she distributes it, and it's 100% cash. That is the age we live in. And so she's only displaying what we're talking about today. The name, copyright, trademark, IP, and you having someone around you that can help you with your ideas, making sure that they're protected through non-disclosure. It's very, very, very cool, very exciting. Uh, Say My Name is just an episode to really focus on your name, your last name, your family legacy, what you're doing for your family, and that comes through the last name. There's never been a greater importance on the last name. It's always been about family. The vault's always been about family. Private families, as every private environment has, is run by private families. Uh, you know, and so we just are really appreciative of everybody that tunes in live or listen to replay. Once again, Christian at Trust Christian for a consultation or private trustee training. And I know we're doing enrollment up until the 10th of May, and then we're cutting it off and we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. 12-week course. We're already 3 weeks in, so cutting it off. Really excited about it. Say My Name is once again just a great episode. I don't see any questions, you all. You all don't have any questions. I appreciate you all for tuning in live. This episode was focused on trademark, intellectual property, copyright. Just making sure you really want to have a great public example of that. And so, just want to really harp on someone that we know has super familiarity with the listener's ears, which is Beyonce, and just giving props and credit where credit is due, where she's able to drop albums directly through a platform, understanding the age we live in 2019, and just knowing that that is how the market is meant to be. And so we just really are excited about trustees. Had a great class going through right now. Always appreciate them. Just been a great run this year so far in 2019. And yeah, tomorrow we'll do an episode. What is that, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do an episode, great episode. But really, just wanted to do this one because this was so on the heart about Beyonce, and just the thought process of intellectual property and trademark and copyright. Always dealing with the vault, privacy, and so just focusing on understanding the best way to be the best trustee. Clearly, she's being the best trustee that she's supposed to be. Clearly, and so if you think trusts aren't set up on her end, you're sadly mistaken as well. But I'm sure many individuals know that that is the case. So just understanding the own